Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. I'm going to take you on a bit of a long ride today. We're going to start here on Madison and take Texas down to Mission Valley. But what I want to show you today is what I think might be the best kept secret in Mission Valley. We hopped up on the sidewalk there so that we can get over to this bike lane because Madison doesn't have a bike lane of its own. And then we head down Texas here. And I'm going to speed this up for us because I've ridden this a whole bunch of times. And the background, the context here is that I need to get from my neighborhood over in Mid-City to Bay Park. And I was talking with a buddy, like, I don't know which way to go. Maybe I'll go through Hillcrest and Mission Hills and take Presidio or something like that. And he was like, why don't you just take the river path? And I was like, what river path? Like, I know the river path that picks up after Fashion Valley and Hotel Circle and goes out to OB, but turns out there is a whole river path down here in Mission Valley that starts at Qualcomm. I didn't know about it. None of you told me about it. So we're going to check it out. We're going over this area of the 8 with all this fresh green paint. A lot of junctions that we have to battle there. But so far it's been good. I have another video about that. I'm going to jump this red light because I need to get to the left. You'll see why I need to get to the left. And I know that those drivers are going to be held up by that other red light for a second. So I get over here and I'll be able to get into the yellow median in between, which frankly just shows me that there's a lot more room for infrastructure over here. But we are going over the San Diego River right now. And turns out there is a path on either side of this river. Good luck finding it, good luck getting to it. I have ridden by here dozens of times, and there's not even a curb cut to get up here if you did want to use it, but I'll get up there and we go. So, I mean, this is kind of gorgeous. This is a beautiful tree-lined path that goes along the river, and this is going to take us all the way to Fashion Valley Drive. And there are a lot of nice things to say about this. I think that this is absolutely gorgeous. We have residential off to the right, we have the river to the left, and people clearly use this. There's benches, trash cans. I imagine a lot of people do things like walk their dogs. I would imagine that people could use this to walk back to where we got on and walk half a block to access the trolley station that's up there. I'd also imagine that on the south side of this, we're on the north side of the river, but on the south side, you see the trolley tracks are bending over. There is another trolley station over there somewhere, and it's good to know that people have access to this without having to rely on cars. I do want to say that while we're riding on here, I think this is really beautiful, but also it's not exactly a bike path. I'm going to say at best this is a mixed-use path, and we'll just cross this street and then we'll talk about it a bit when we can see the lines in the road, but I'm just going to go here because there's no risk whatsoever. There's also no priority for me. I think this should have flashing lights on it when somebody hits. There's no reason why that should be a full traffic light, or at least it should be triggered when you hit that button. I'm going to say this is a beautiful path to ride on, but I think this is actually a pedestrian path. You'll notice that every 3 feet or so there is a cut. It's built like a sidewalk. I'm no engineer, but you know, those cracks, to my understanding, are meant for proper drainage and also to relieve stress on the pavement. If you have one solid long slab, as the ground shifts and moisture gets underneath and everything, there'd be more tension, you'd have more breakage, you'd require more maintenance. So they put these cuts in it, and that relieves tension, but it also means that if you're riding a bike, your wheels pick up every one of those cracks as you're going. So this is really a wide pedestrian path, which is great, but I'm also going to suggest that this is mixed use, and I'd rather be riding here than the alternatives. I have two alternatives to where I'm going right now. One is Camino De La Reina, which is to the south, and I covered that in a video last week. No infrastructure whatsoever, sharing the lane with cars and drivers, and it's just rough. The other option is to ride up on Friars a couple of blocks north, which has really bright paint, but it also has drivers going 50, 55 miles an hour. It's an expressway. There's just no two ways around it. It's an expressway, so this is the most separated option. I'm going to say this is the safest option. This is going to become a road I use, I think, when I'm going through Mission Valley, as long as I don't have the intention to stop at places to shop in Mission Valley. That's a big thing, right? I mean, that's one of the things that we talk about all the time on this channel. Like, you know, people need to be able to use the bike paths to get places. When people propose a path way out of the way, it's like, well, that's great, but we need it along the road that's established, because that's where all the things are that we want to get to. Right now, this path, you see, we go past a little guardrail here, and it becomes a sidewalk that lines this parking lot, as you can see from this pickup truck driver who's just putting that thing anywhere. It's a mostly empty parking lot, which I think reminds us of just how much space we dedicate to drivers and the storage of their cars in our areas. But you know, I'm still on here. Somebody just jogged by. We're approaching Mission Center Road, and the path keeps going. And I'd rather be doing this than negotiating around the stop and start of paint throughout the area. It's kind of a nightmare riding around here. I have a bunch of videos riding through Mission Valley, and now I'm crossing this street. I mean, look at the paint here. The crosswalk is even completely faded away. They clearly don't prioritize people outside of cars, but we get to hop back on this path. I was a little confused over there too. I didn't know if it kept going or if I had to keep going. There's another trolley station just down the street here. It's right across the street from the movie theater Hazard Center, which, by the way, for my money, is one of the best deals to see a movie, and super comfy chairs. You can get, I think, in there for $10. And then they also have specials throughout the week for those of you who can make it to movies on weekdays. If you're in the teaching profession, like I am, that works out for you around this time of year, I'm sure. We get back to this area again. Residential all over the place. People are using this, and it's a good thing. The residential has been popping up much more in Mission Valley also. Just businesses have been here for a long time, but they've really ramped up development down here, which is good because, you know, you want to have people living near the commerce that's here, the goods, the services, the necessities that people need to live. You know, I wonder how much we could think about Mission Valley as connected to that whole 15-minute city thing. What with access to transit and a path like this, it goes a long way to help in that effort. I don't know if I would want to live down here because Mission Valley is also a floodplain, so I do kind of worry about all this residential eventually, but maybe we'll tackle that in another video, along with all the other challenges of climate change that come and make our built environments more challenging. We have this other underpass here, and frankly, I didn't know any of this was here. I had no idea there was even a road that connected the Hazard Center area over to the Fashion Valley area that we are heading towards. So, I mean, I'm learning a whole bunch of new stuff on this ride, and it's super peaceful. For those who like to geek out about bicycles a bit, I happen to be riding a Brompton because I know that when I get to my destination, I'm going to hang out with my family, and then we're going to drive home together, and the Brompton makes it easier to do that. We have this underpass here, and some people settling in, and frankly, I love the lighting here. I love all these lampposts and the idea that people can walk through there, especially in the winter months, and get to transit, maybe get to places that they're working and living, and have a well-lit path. This is a good thing. I'm enjoying this, and we are going to get up onto Fashion Valley Mall here, and I am going to have to cross the street, and then we'll get to a more familiar section that I often ride on. But just knowing that this is here, I think, is fantastic. Hold on, we just have to get across here. I don't have a stop sign, by the way. These drivers do, and that Tesla had to smack on the brakes quite a bit Stupid car. Um, but now we're back on this familiar path, and you'll see how this path connects or doesn't connect to other things. Like I said, it's 4th of July, and just a quick editorial that um, we're going out to this gathering, and then we got to get home all together because we have a dog, and as you know, dogs are terrified on the 4th of July because people are lighting off fireworks. Fireworks that are going off like in this area and further west actually echo like 10 miles back to my house. 10 miles the whole length. I live about 10 miles from the coast. But the fireworks echo, and it just freaks out the dogs. It freaks out all the wildlife around here, all the pets. And I really wish, unpopular opinion, I really wish that we didn't use fireworks at all anymore. I think that they should be outlawed and abandoned. And if you need to see lights in the sky, it's 2025. We have drones. But quick unpopular opinion I'll bury in the 11th minute of a 12.5 minute long video. One of the things that we always have to consider when we're riding around is how paths connect to each other. So we're on this little path, and as great as it is, we are going to get to Fashion Valley Road here, and then we're not going to have a lot of options. If we make the left, there's no bike lane. There's just a little shoulder, and it ends us over to like a service road to the freeway. We are going to make a right, and that'll bring us up to Friars Road. That, again, it has infrastructure, but the bi-directional path, good luck getting to it. Now, there's a lot of construction that's going to be happening just in front of us, and that's the old Riverwalk golf course that they've taken apart, and it's a big pile of dirt right now, and they're going to be putting in all kinds of housing and stuff over there. So I'm hoping that that helps create a complete connection over here. I was letting those drivers go by, and frankly, there's enough road here to put in some real infrastructure. Maybe we could look forward to that. But thanks for coming along with me on this ride. That river path is something that I know I'm going to be using much more often. I don't know if you knew about it. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And you know, I'm just thinking about how we can get around, and from here we're just going to drive less and ride a bike. Thanks.